there's that left turn. And
Listen, you could hit the live button anytime as you did, and I think we are live, Tony.
We are live. As we always are. We are the Podguyz Podcast, bringing it to you every Monday, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. Tad bit early. That is quite okay.
Yeah.
I am Tony Kaz.
Kevin Neary here.
Of course, we have the ever-loving Picasso, the inventor of all that is anti-aging in his pictures.
Sparky's growing glasses on his face throughout the years. That's something
going on,
right?
Growing glasses on his face. Unfortunately, his vision is not like it used to be. But we shall see. Le Sparky.
Well, for people out there that don't know Sparky, he does have, there's the big board right there. Happy Labor Day from Madonna.
Oh, that's so nice of you.
Yeah, wonderful stick figure of Madonna. Something's coming up between the two other sticks in between. All right, Sparky, we'll let the imagination just
you are a horrible person, Sparky.
Yeah. I think what Sparky, you're mixing up labor and in labor, okay?
Yeah.
Labor. Happy in Labor Day. To Madonna, and I guess they're just particles spewing out. So, that's no, and the Madonna
what are we, children?
So Mary Beth, when Madonna wanted to do a non-fungible token, if you're familiar with non-fungible tokens are, and I got a little bit of lag going on here. There we go. Hopefully, my beautiful wife has Netflix on fucking full high definition blast, taking up all the internet.
Oh yeah, 1080p.
Because why not? Because why not do that?
I just wanted to watch Telemundo.
I needed to be a part of the show. And just fucking watching. There's this.
My baby was watching.
Yeah. The baby's not watching shit. She does not care at all. Baby's looking at her care about shit. But there was a non-fungible Madonna wanted a non-fungible token of her vagina. Okay. Oh. This was the thing she wanted to sell it.
Yeah, the look on your face says it all, Mary Beth.
And Mary Beth. So we had the idea here to not do that, but to have a non-fungible token that said Madonna in stick figure Sparky form. This fucking lag is killing me right now. I am not happy about it. I have my Wi-Fi off. I'm about to go in the other room and just jack the whole internet off the wall, but that's all right. Mary Beth Newell.
Yes.
Our beautiful, inspiring, smart, anti-aging guest right here, Tony. What is going on with Mary Beth? Does she have a new book out? Mary Beth, a round of applause goes to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
One. It's called Anti-Aging Secrets of Healthy Living to Stop the Clock.
Right.
Bestseller, by the way.
It is. In 4 categories.
Very nice, yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about it, Mary Beth. You have the floor.
Well, thank you. So it is a guide to learn how to look younger, feel fantastic, and wow the world. So I focused on 4 or 5 different areas. There are tips on nutrition, exercise, skincare, self-care, and then the bonus is hair and makeup ideas. So I don't know that you guys would necessarily want the hair and makeup ideas, but
maybe some of our listeners would.
Yeah. Yes, I think so. And so I am a nurse. I've been a registered nurse for almost 45 years, and I also have a master's degree in science. And everything in the book I have, it's tried and true. I've done everything. And I incorporate science, like real science, where you had National Institutes of Health or CDC or the National Aging.
Now I'm going to stop you right there. What do you classify as real to non-real science?
Thank you, Tony. I was on that myself. What's the fake stuff?
I know. I seen it in your head.
We want to know.
He's got this question right on the tip of his tongue.
Well, fantastic. So pseudoscience is sort of like stuff you just make up. There's no studies behind it.
Well, what if I say whatever I want, but before I say it, I say studies have shown? What if can I just do that? Would that count?
you could for pseudoscience, but if you actually have studies, ideally what you want is something that's called double blind. So they have people that are doing whatever they want them to do, and then they have people that have a placebo effect, and no one knows what they're getting or what they're doing if it's supposed to have an effect. And then you test out, is your theory of something valid? Does it actually work? Compared to people with maybe the placebo effect, even if you're doing exercise.
Here is my question. I hope you're ready for this, Mary Beth.
Yes, I am.
What is one of the things that you would normally mention to someone as far as anti-aging, not necessarily being the biggest thing, but from pseudoscience to regular science? What do you think is the greatest achievement in science right now for anti-aging?
Well, there's lots of things, but if you want me to compare pseudoscience to real science, I can do that.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Wait, don't I see like a copper hand thing or bracelet, and then I'm fucking, younger? Remember those bracelet things?
Yeah.
Oh, they had those, yeah.
Man, oh man. Now that would be pseudoscience, right? You're not a copper bracelet person, right? Okay, good.
Right.
Good. Yeah, but there are some times when, the eggs are good for you, eggs are bad for you audience comes in there, right? Are you familiar with that? So
yes.
Pseudoscience would say, well, what the hell's up with that? If our eggs are good for you, wait, no, just the yellow ones are bad for you, but the whites are good for you, right? They couldn't agree on an egg for the longest time, Mary Beth. So which
mayonnaise, no mayonnaise?
Yeah, like
margarine, butter,
margarine or butter. Listen, I split it right. I get the blue bonnet right down the middle. I have no idea, so I just go half and half. I'm probably half poisoning myself, even if I'm going half for half on the idea. But has there ever been anything in what is described as pseudoscience that has unpseudoed itself throughout time?
Correct. So probably the most popular thing is everyone wants to get their 10,000 steps, their 10,000 steps. That was a marketing plan. There was
Son of a bitches. They all lie.
No
all of them.
Yeah.
Paraplegics everywhere have been like, good, we proved them wrong. No steps needed.
So that was just a Japanese company that came up with a really good ad campaign for marketing. So everyone believed in the 10,000 steps. Now, since then, they actually did some of the credible studies on it, and what they found
I heard this was done by Skechers and Nike.
Not necessarily. But a double blind study.
Double blind. Yeah.
So they found if you get 2,700 steps, which maybe is like a mile or so for people, your risk of dying early goes down by 8%, and icky cardiovascular events like a heart attack or a stroke goes down by 11%. But if you get 9,000 steps, this is really the sweet spot, not necessarily 10,000. Your risk of dying early goes from that 8% down to 60%. Okay, so you're much greater risk of not dying early. And then your risk of having a stroke or a heart attack goes down by 51%. So get your 9,000 steps. You can do a bonus and get your 10, but if you only get 9,000 steps, you're going to live longer and be healthier.
Now, there's now you keep mentioning the double blind. Do you think that marketing advertisers are just going to one up that and call it a triple blind test one day?
Yeah.
We're going to throw another blind in there. Like we don't.
That would be the blind leading the blind leading the blind.
Leading the blind, yeah. And then the quadruple blind test will come up. Like triple blind, we don't do any of that. Triple blinds were found to be unsafe,
unnecessary.
Without that fourth blind in there, we wouldn't know shit.
Scientific studies say that Sparky has something on his board.
Studies have shown.
What does Sparky have on his board?
Flip that board around. Sparky doing anti-aging the gray away. Do not look at the picture. What the heck is going on there, Sparky? Are you giving? Is that like
Dorian
a bucket?
Gray.
Oh,
Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray. Okay, that is a very long way to get to 50 Shades of Grey reference.
No,
Wow.
no, the other Dorian Gray.
Oh, there's another Dorian Gray.
Explain
Yes,
your
yes,
work,
the guy-
Sparky.
The guy who had his portrait painted on the thing, and the picture aged, but he didn't. But if he looked at the picture, he aged and died.
Oh my God, that is a long way to go there.
Wow, that was a giant leap, Spark.
And somebody must have
book.
just
Read a
watched
book.
that movie yesterday. No books.
Who reads
I know
books?
The only book I'm reading-
Your buddy Sean Connery. Then how did
I
that
heard
happen?
in a double-blind study that by reading books, you lower your age by 48 years.
Yeah, but Tony, if you read the triple blind, it's 45 years.
Ah.
Yeah, that works.
Ah,
Got
got
that
it.
weird sweet spot. The only book I'm reading, Sparky, is the anti-aging book. And Mary Beth, what's the name of that book again?
It's Anti-Aging and
Yep.
Secrets of Healthy Living to Stop the Clock.
Stopping the Clock. And
Yes.
Mary Beth, you look like you have stopped the clock.
Thank you.
Like 100%. For our non-viewing audience out there, they are missing the anti-aging part of the show. But for our viewing audience, what up?
That's true. So, question, I guess my follow-up question is, there is another pseudoscience that's involving water drinkage.
Mhm.
Now, what is the pseudoscience versus regular science involved in water drinkage? The amount of water that you drink in a day.
Well, I'm not so sure what maybe the pseudoscience might be just everyone has to drink 8 glasses of water a day. And really, the minimum that people should be drinking is you take your weight and you divide it by 3, and that's the absolute minimum. So if somebody weighs 120 pounds, you divide it by 3, that's 40 ounces, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you have to add water if you're drinking things that are going to dehydrate you, like coffee. You know, if you're going to drink coffee, if you're exercising, if you live in a warm environment. So that's the basic amount. But I can tell you, if you even have as little of a 2% reduction in the water that you need, you can have cognitive deficits. So your memory isn't all that good.
Mhm.
It affects your response time in immune response as well. So when people in the afternoon, like at 3, they say, "Oh, I need a cup of coffee," or "I need a Snickers bar," you're hangry, as they mentioned.
Mhm.
Really, probably what you need is a glass of water.
Couldn't agree with you any more on that one. That is the perfect way to articulate not severe dehydration, but the beginning symptoms of dehydration.
Mhm.
And the weight idea is even more prone. That I'm 165 pounds, right? So I'll go through about 5 glasses of water a day. I don't measure the ounces. I just drink it until I feel like I'm not, in a bad state of mind or no headaches or anything like that. But
Mhm.
for reality TV shows like the My 1,000-Pound Life Sisters, they should probably just save themselves a lot of walking to the fridge and live in the ocean, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe not the ocean because that's salt water, but maybe a lake.
You're right. The salt would give them an instant heart attack.
They need fresh water.
Wait, no, the salt water, that's sea salt. That's the good kind of salt, right?
Yes.
Now, from a nutritionalist standpoint, the sea salt compared to regular salt, do you have any, and then there's the Himalayan salt. Do you have any insight into food and nutrition helping or hurting with aging? What is the worst food you could eat to make yourself age faster? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, I would say, well, there's a couple things. So there's processed food,
Mhm.
but then the fun stuff, sugar and alcohol
Oh
will
God.
age you
Ah,
faster.
boo.
So yeah, you might not want to hear that.
There's somebody adding sugar to their Jack Daniels right now, watching. Like, what the? This is a bunch of shit. Just looking like the oldest 28-year-old alive. It's yeah. Sugar and alcohol. I tell you what, I quit drinking 6 years ago. I feel awful about it. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
you are on a plethora of Diet Coke.
I am not on Diet Coke. No, I'm on this Mountain Dew Code Red because yeah, exactly. It's pretty terrible.
It's diet soda, Kevin.
Is it diet soda? Oh yeah, it's diet soda.
Yeah, diet.
And they're passing out this new prebiotic soda. Have you heard of this one, Mary?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so remember when Weight Watchers, they had their own Weight Watcher soda out there.
Okay.
And they had to take it off the market because the sugar substitute that they had in it had a special chemical compound that was giving everybody cancer pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah, the old joke went, and back in the 90s,
Good old
would joke
aspartame.
no, it was worse. It was aspartame extract agave, right? That was the, it was like really, yeah. And it was the
Delicious,
extract of
yeah.
it. So they were like, fuck it, we'll throw that in there, and it'll help deter people's appetites and stuff. And it did, but so great to the point, it was also affecting their blood cells, and it was creating tumors. But the old joke went back in the early 90s that if the Weight Watchers diet didn't help you, the cancer that the soda gave you would help you lose the weight. That was the old joke. But now they're bringing back the same type of soda, and people need to be kind of warned about it to a degree. It's called prebiotic soda. The same ingredients are in there,
Right.
only they changed up one chemical at the end, and that would be the aspartame agave extract. It's not straight extract. It is a certain percentage passable by the FDA of extracts. Is there one food out there, Mary, that you have seen that people think is healthy for them, but you would never suggest in a million years for someone to get to?
Oh, well, you just mentioned it with the soda. I have
Yep.
to say that. I do think that there's a lot of green drinks that are out there. And a lot of times, like I went into Trader Joe's and their green drink has a ton of sugar and pineapple juice and maybe a little bit of spinach in it. So I think you need to be careful if you want your prebiotics or probiotics. You can get that in your green drinks, but you definitely want to read what the ingredients are and avoid added sugar. The other thing is diet foods. A lot of people will go for the diet ranch because you think you're saving calories, but
There's a diet ranch out there?
Well, fat-free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. And then it's loaded with added sugar. So you might as well just have the regular ranch or make your own is even better to make your own. And so yeah, sometimes the fat-free, it really has hidden sugar in it, or probably one of the worst things for you. And again, I'm going to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer here, but going to like McDonald's to get their French fries, they are addictive. They have salt and sugar on them.
Yeah, they do. So I want to introduce a weird topic for you, especially for people who are in the anti-aging community. And Kevin, you may have actually heard this before, but it is called perineum sunning. Have you ever heard that
perineum
word?
No.
Perineum sunning. I've heard of red lighting. Is that what it is or no?
No, this
red
is
light therapy.
This is a wellness trend involving exposing your butthole to the sun.
Okay.
And tanning your butt region.
Now, all right, I'm just gonna throw it out there. The word pseudoscience comes to mind right
That's
about
what
now.
I'm thinking.
You know,
Yeah, it is not supported by science whatsoever.
Tony, what asshole started this trend?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew. But it does come with there's a whole bunch of different stuff behind it. So it is not supported by science, carries significant health risks, including sunburn, irritation, increased risk of skin cancer, especially in your most intimate of regions.
This sounds like some weird mating call that no one asked for.
It is a trumpet call of trumpet calls.
Jesus Lord. I've never heard of it.
But there is a lot of science behind staying away from the sun, especially with SPFs and skincare routines, especially for makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, maybe, no, maybe.
Well, the one thing I have to say, and I do discuss it in the book, is years ago, I was found to be critically deficient in vitamin D. And I drink milk, and, bread is fortified with vitamin D, but I would wear a hat, clothes, put all kinds of SPF on me. And even though I was out in the sun, I was blocking everything from getting into my body.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so that is one thing that I've learned, that no, it's best to get your vitamin D just being out in the sun for 15 minutes a day if you're not wearing the SPF, and your body will stop making it if you're out in the sun naturally. But if you are going to supplement, you need to be careful because it's considered a fat soluble vitamin, which means it stays in your fat and it takes longer to get out of your body, where a water soluble vitamin you can get out of your system pretty fast. So you just need to be careful if you're supplementing that you're not overdoing it and becoming toxic with vitamin D.
Yeah, now I'm on your website right now, and it's a very easy website to find. All you have to do is Google your name, Marybeth Newell, and great, tons of compliments as far as the cover of the book alone. Okay, they say you can't judge a book by its cover. Some people should. Some people really should. The cover of the book, it is the white background. The gold lettering, the ands and the ofs and the twos and the thes are all in lowercase small black. I love the whole outline of the front. Your name is also put there in gold. Looks very, very official. And you even have 8 verified purchasers and reviews. And I'm going to read off some reviews before we get to Sparky's big board there. If Tony doesn't mind. If he does mind, I will stop right here. No, it's up to Tony. Okay. All right. We're doing it. We're doing it. This is Amazon customer. They wanted to be anonymous, but they did put down a 5-star review. I traveled with the author over 10 years ago and saw firsthand how well she took care of herself physically, mentally, and spiritually. All these years later, she still looks the same, ageless. Now that I have her book, I have these same tools at my fingertips and am ready and already making changes in my life that I hope will add up. Enjoyable read. That's from Amazon customer. We'll get a real name behind this real quick. Gene DePoris says, a fun read, chock full of great advice. 5 stars as well. He says, as a retired publisher, I read the manuscript before the book was released and thought it was very well done. Now, that's from a retired publisher. That's a big deal. Yeah. These people are highly critical. Publishers. They just are.
Oh, crazy. Like crazy, yeah.
And I've had to deal with them when doing audiobooks before where they're like, you're obviously drunk in chapter 7. We can hear a beer can open up. And I'm like, that was a soda can. And it wasn't. It was a beer can. They were right. They must know their can noises, Tony. Bunch of jerks. That I was slurring my speech. But how am I going to read Moby Dick? It's the 7th chapter. Dude, I went 6 chapters out loud without taking a break. So I had to redo that chapter. But having purchased a copy after its release, I'm very pleased to say that the final product exceeded my expectations. very well written. It reads very easily and sounds like a friend sharing some tips with another friend. It's fun, and the people I have shared my copy with love it too. Mary, you should sue him. He's sharing the book that with people that didn't buy it. You know, he's pulling a Napster right there. Now, Mary,
How
did you
dare
write?
you.
Did you write the book yourself, or did you have a ghostwriter on that, or ChatGPT?
No, I wrote it all myself. No
My, see,
ghostwriters.
that's the
It's all
thing.
my own personality.
See,
So.
people are going to look at you. They're going to say, "No way could she be that good-looking, smart, and writes her own book." There's no way. You know, that's my that's why, you know, my opinion. There could have been a, you know, Tony's heard my Stephen Hawking theory many times. That
Yes, I have.
that a good-looking guy just was never believed that he was that smart, so he stole Stephen Hawking real quick and talked through him. I don't know. The Sparky's got something there on the big board though. Sparky, what's going on? This is meanwhile at Tony's house. You are still not getting any tonight. What the hell is going on there, Sparky? There's a Tony is using the red light on his butthole.
Oh,
and there's a
perennial
Oh my
sunning.
goodness.
Perennial sunning
sunning.
with the cats.
God. The so Mary Beth, if it's not in perennial sunning is not in your book, so I'm guessing not a recommended anti-aging technique at all, correct?
Correct. Mhm.
And you can go to I have the link already in our live feed right now. So if you're watching right now, I commented the link to Amazon. So all you got to do is click the button. You don't have to buy it. You could look at it and then, you know, eventually get around to buying it. Put it in your shopping cart. Maybe you gift it to a friend who looks really old and you just want to give it to them as a sarcastic present, seeing if that could de-age them at all, which they're, you know, if you just take care of yourself sometimes, or if you want to know how to better take care of yourself, this would definitely be the book for you. 5 stars, 8 ratings. You're going to have some trolls in there once in a while. So
I have
Tony?
to ask this question. Because you were number 13 in the new release in holistic medicine.
Mhm.
Now, are you a big follower of holistic medicine yourself?
Well, I think you can combine Eastern and Western medicine, and certainly all the tips that I give people are holistic, sustainable, and attainable. So, I mean, sometimes people recommend things that nobody can afford.
Because there's a different dichotomy somewhere.
Yeah.
Because people place holistic medicine not in the same rotation as somebody who does science per se and says this is the facts of science and this is the facts of holistic medicine. Where do you fit in between? Do you feel like there are some scientific boundaries that can't be crossed and therefore you're not going into holistic, or do you automatically go right into holistic and then you're like, this will change your life?
Well, holistic with things that work. Sometimes people bring up holistic things that are the pseudoscience. So
Okay.
I've looked at it, and holistic is more natural, what you can do on your own without, chemicals or other things like that.
No, you're right on that one, Mary. The people do hide behind bullshit by using the word holistic. You know, they're like, it's not bullshit. It's holistic, which isn't mainstream science. It's like, that's actually a form of the two. But no, Tony, that's a great question. Great response back.
Well,
awesome.
It has a follow-up question.
I'm waiting. I'm ready.
Mary Beth, you're an initiator of holistic science. What do you think is the best product that you would endorse right now as far as holistic medicine and anti-aging?
I would probably say the green drink that I'm drinking. I think it improves my skin. It makes me feel good. It gives me those prebiotics, probiotics, and a whole bunch of super greens that I just can't possibly eat that much food in a day. So yeah, that's sort of like a sleeper. but you have to pay attention to, like I said, the Trader Joe's green drink isn't going to do it.
No.
You need to look for something.
There's a lot of people that tend to go into kombucha. They go
Okay.
into the green drinks in general. It has a very, very broad, very,
Right.
very broad item list. Now, would you say to naturally juice your own greens and add them to a drink that you make personally, or would you go to a particular place and be like, "Oh, well, this is a great product. I feel like they have a
Mhm.
great ingredient list, and that it is all, if not organic, just naturally done."
Mhm. Well, I didn't use it for about 5 years. I tried other things, but I probably for 10 or 15 years, I've been using, it used to be called athletic greens.
Okay.
It's from New Zealand. Now they're snazzy and they call it AG1. And you'll see now they have commercials. I mean, I was using it like 20 years ago when it was just athletic greens. It was really designed to replenish your body when you were exercising. But I love it. I've tried other stuff. I mean, and green drinks, for the most part, if you're getting them without added sugar, tons of fruit juice in it, don't taste the best. It's more like an acquired taste. That some of them taste like dirt,
Yeah, yeah.
or they look like pond scum and they taste like pond scum.
Well, a
But
lot of them
Some
are
guy
algae
just
filled in general.
But no, I mean, I don't have any affiliation with AG1 except to, tried and true. It's a testimonial I can give for the AG1.
well, AG1 should get
Superfoods.
out there and have you do some commercials for them because they're obviously new to marketing. You see, that's the problem with holistic
Health
Drinks.
drinks.
yeah, all that good stuff. They need to hire the people from Coca-Cola because everyone has heard
Oh.
about that.
Mhm.
Everyone's heard about McDonald's. They're so in your face with it. But with, hey, how do I, get a little bit healthier here? They're like, oh, well, behind that book over
Yeah.
there, you got to pull the book and the bookcase will move you around it. They make it very tough to find all around. Grocery stores very rarely carry it because the price point on everybody is way high. I mean, this is expensive.
Well, I have to tell you, Kevin, Costco has just started carrying it too.
Get out of here, really. I do not.
You're big time when you're at Costco now.
Ring the bell, Costco. You got a free plug there.
Damn.
They are. You know what though? That's the
Nowhere
problem.
Nowhere else but Costco.
People, you'll see somebody.
Today's show brought to you by Shake Weight, by the way.
Shake Weight. Tony, you'll see somebody buying that at Costco, and then they'll have 5 fucking $1 hot dogs.
Yeah.
On their
Look
way
at a
out.
tub of Diet
You're
Coke.
like, oh God, almost. Mary, how do you stay so disciplined with your approach to not only nutrition, but with routine?
Well, one of the things is I have to exercise. Otherwise, I get crabby and I don't like myself when I'm crabby.
You
And
should
then
have
I
seen her
also-
before show, by the way.
And then I do have 2 dogs, 2 standard poodles, and so they're high energy. So they help me to make sure that I like 5 miles a day. So that's more than the 10,000 steps, but that's what my goal is. I don't always do it. And then as far as nutrition, I try to eat as close to what the natural food is, and I love to cook. So if you like to cook, it makes it a lot easier to cook up a bunch of stuff. And then I probably shouldn't put it in the Ziplocs because the plastic isn't that great for you.
Oh, the
But because
PETs.
I
No.
cook so much, it fits in the freezer. So
yeah,
and
the
I cook
Ziploc
for-
company they got sued big time, like recently, because they kept telling people, cook with it, throw it, just keep it in the bag and throw it in the microwave.
Sous vide.
And everyone's like, oh, that's fine then. And I've never done that with a Ziploc bag myself. Not because I hadn't thought of it. I think the laziness comes into approach, where I'm like, oh, I could just make something in a bag and throw it in there and Ziploc it. But you know what? Fuck all that. I'll order a pizza.
Well, when I wait till things are cooled down, put it in the Ziploc, and then when I want to have like a fast food dinner, I
Mhm.
just cut it with scissors and throw it in a pot,
Okay.
and then or a glass container to microwave it.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. These now Sparky's got something there in the big board. I don't know what's going on there, Sparky. He's got a little bit of reverb going on with my voice. Beautiful stuff right there, Sparky. Hey, get a hold of Madonna. I need more pond slime from her so I can mix it with Gwyneth's goop scent. I call it Not Like a Virgin. Oh my God. That's some gross shit, Sparky.
Yeah, you're disgusting, Sparky.
You're a weird guy. We're having a civilized adult conversation. You come with this cartoon R-rated shit to shit all over the Thanksgiving Day
You're
table.
like a child today, Sparky. Like
My
a child.
God damn it.
I have a question, Mary Beth, and this it may be a little bit of pseudoscience mixed with regular science. Is there any truth to not necessarily portion control, but the amount and size that you happen to have your food as well? So let's say somebody eats an 8-ounce container of soup in comparison to an 8-ounce portion of steak. The amount of energy taken in to eat the steak almost then equals out to the 8 ounces of soup that you would ingest and filter through your body.
I think the soup would take less calories, and in many instances, the steak is going to provide you with a lot more nutrition.
So red meat, go red meat.
It has all the amino acids that you need. That's one of the issues when people focus more on a plant-based diet. They're not getting all the amino acids that they need, and it's very difficult for them to take it all in. Just like protein drinks. There's plant-based and then there's whey. Well, whey protein, I like to say, little Miss Muffet knew what she was doing eating her whey and curds, because whey protein is perfect protein.
I'm a big fan of curds.
You.
Oh, curds are delicious.
Cheese curds, I like.
Cheese curds, yeah.
Yeah. Deep fried, Tony. Tony does a deep fried cheese curds.
Covered in cheese and gravy.
Covered cheese and gravy. By the time you know them, they're basically curds have stuck to the plate. Nuked in a.
The curds have now become a part of my body.
Nuked in a Ziploc bag.
Perfect.
I kind of wanted to ask this because I've seen a lot of people age throughout the years, and they all seem to be much more dramatic aging if they're Italians. Is there a correlation between Italians and aging fast? And I'll give you an example.
Because a study has been done recently that actually stated that Italians live a longer life per capita than any other person in the world.
Robert De Niro's looked 60 years old since the age of 18.
He has.
He's like, there's a 15-year-old Robert De Niro, and you're like, that's a normal 15-year-old kid. And then there's like 30-year-old De Niro, and you're like, is he 40? Is that 40 years old? But then there's 40-year-old De Niro, and you're like, is that 50? Is he 45?
He's on his second baby, by the way, even at 85.
He is on his second baby, but Italians seem to have those characteristics that make people look like they're aging faster. The nose grows faster, the ears grow faster. The Stallone shag thing comes in there, those little pocket things. Is there, am I out of my mind, or do Italians age faster?
I don't know that there's any actual science to support that, but that can be anecdotal. It sounds like from your perspective.
My wife is from the Philippines. She doesn't age at all. She's looked young. You see what I mean? You see? Yep. Kind of stays young, looking very young looking.
Kevin, you have no idea how much what you just said right there.
Yeah.
Kind of corresponds to Mary Beth as well.
Okay. How does it correspond to you, Mary Beth?
Because I'm aging backwards.
You are aging backwards.
Well, and the fact that she's going to the Philippines soon.
Oh,
Oh,
very
yes,
nice. Very
yes,
nice.
yes.
Well,
Mhm.
now, Tony, I'm giving you a lot of credit on that. Mary Beth, where were you on that one? Tony gave you a
No.
layup.
We had a huge conversation before you came in
Right.
Yeah.
about other countries, and she also does the nursing thing with people who over in the Philippines.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. The
yeah, the
which part of
RNs and
the
the
which part of the Philippines are you going to?
Well, I'm newer with the company, but I
Mhm.
think we go to a couple different islands for in January
Nice.
is when
Northern or
they
southern
like to
part?
go. I don't know.
Okay. It's
She's just along for the ride.
you're gonna love it, love it, love it. It is an outstanding country all around. People are so polite, they make the Mormons look like a pile of puke. It's
That's
it's
also what we were talking about as well.
Mormons.
Well, they're just the nicest of all.
Oh yeah, the kindness.
Right.
Like I'm
The
like, why would you guys be
culture.
talking about Mormons? Yeah, culturally speaking,
So it entails and it goes into my question, and maybe you can even ask this, Kevin. What is the dieting habits between even someone from the United States in comparison to somebody who's over in the Philippines right now? Not necessarily third world countries, but second world countries. People who are on the verge of getting more fast food even into their countries in general, such as Jollibee or McDonald's or
so I mean,
stuff like that.
genetically speaking, it's a very diverse culture. Okay, like my wife is Pinoy, which means Pinoys have a genetic disposition to many cultures such as Spanish, Indian, Taiwanese, Chinese, and Japanese. So there's a lot of cultures running in there. I'm Irish, German, and Tuscaroran, 1/3 of each.
We are an educational show, by the way, Kevin.
Yeah, we are. We're educating a lot of people right now. So right now, our little baby is everything except for Italian and Russian. So it means she won't be mean or ugly. Shit, but no, anyways, getting back to it, this is probably what defines their diet. Is my wife loves rice. Rice is life, sort of thing. She will eat it not just hot, but she will eat it cold. And eating cold rice is a fat burning kind of thing. The less fat you have in your system, plus they have very low inflammatory kind of stuff. Besides the love of soy sauce and stuff like that, and once in a while fried food. The other thing I have to touch on is fasting. Okay. They don't do something called intentional fasting. They just don't overindulge in food to the point where you would count it as that. And once they do eat, it's normally a once a day big meal or a once a day medium sized meal. Nothing insane, nothing crazy. Tons of sunlight as well. That sun over there would blare you like crazy. Got to wear sunglasses or have an umbrella. So
I would probably burst into flames over there.
Vitamin D is on spigot. You wouldn't burst into flames, Tony. I think that you would kind of look like one of those wax figures under a light bulb after a while. You would slowly start to melt, something to that degree. But Mary Beth, have
my
you ever...
Irish Jewish heritage would be like very not good over there. Not good at all.
Irish and it's a weird mix right there. You'd loan out people a 6-pack of beer expecting 8 back, right? Is that the stereotype? So, Mary Beth, have you ever been outside of the country? Where have you traveled to?
Well, I've been to a lot of different states within the United States, but then outside of the country, well, certainly the Caribbean, if you are a girl who likes the sun and the water.
Yeah.
And then I have been to a couple of European countries. It was on a cruise. So I went to a couple different Venice, Athens. So where the Olympics actually initiated.
Get out of here. Nice.
Yeah. And they had to, apparently, there was a woman who snuck in. So then after that, they had to do the Olympics naked to make sure you were a man.
Wow.
So women snuck in. Can you imagine that? And I was there.
I mean, I can't imagine it.
Imagining all these naked men.
Wait, what Olympics was this at? What year?
Well, way back, way back.
I think it was the first or
it
second
started.
Olympics that they
Yeah,
did.
I'm thinking, Tony, she's got that anti-aging thing on. Mary Beth, I mean, was that the first? You weren't there at the first one, right? No, of course.
No, no. I was where the Olympics took
Oh,
place,
okay,
not
okay,
that I
okay.
was there when the men were running around naked.
Yeah. I guess some of the women were pulling a Mulan, which Mulan got away with it because you know, we're not going to go there. such a terrible story that Disney buys like the most horrific stories possible, and they're like, "What did we buy?" They're like, "Didn't you read it?" I'm like, "No. Holy crap! All right, well, maybe she's a lot older now, and everyone doesn't do anything to her. Terrible." Sparky, flip that big board around. I know you're itching to get on this this time right here. What's going on with the big board? He's poking something. He's poking it. I don't know what's going on. Tony, what's
There's
wrong
going to
with
be
Sparky?
there's going to be a whole thing about this.
Okay.
He's ready.
Speaking of, you know, you're talking about the Italians and how they think indestructible.
Let me. What the hell?
Read it. Can you read it?
Yeah. Let me quit, Mike.
Mick.
Okay. Let me quit, Mick. I'm getting killed. Don't worry, Rock. You're an Italian tank. Yeah, Stallone. Stallone has gotten older. He's doing the Tulsa King right there. Mick, Burgess Meredith kind of always looked old there. What would you suggest to Burgess Meredith to look younger? Twilight Zone, Burgess Meredith. And we're talking still he's in his 50s, but looking 70. Is there any help for somebody that looks like that? Because holy shit, I can't think of one thing. I would give him a glass of water and say, there you go, pal.
Well, the water would certainly help with cognition and plump up your skin, but you can do facial exercises. So just like we tone up our arms or our tummy, you can do facial exercises. And some of the most fun ones are, we were doing it when we were little kids, when we were memorizing our vowels, A-E-I-O-U. Now, if you really exaggerate that, you're exercising your face and toning up your face. So that might be something to try to help it.
Yeah. Now there is a difference when you brought up sugar there. In between South Vietnam and North Vietnam. Now they've been separated for a while now. South Vietnam soldiers, they felt, let's give a kid a candy bar. Why not, right?
Okay.
And kids seem to like it. Hershey Company found out about it. Coca-Cola found out, hey, we might have a new market to sell things here. And they did accordingly. That's just the way capitalism kind of works, right? Companies want to sell a product. And anyways, but the difference is North Vietnam got none of that idea, right? Zero. No one was allowed. There's sanctions. They don't want nothing like that. They're not near the port, whatever. They're not paying for it. North Vietnam has had people on such a low sugar diet compared to South Vietnam that genetically their faces have changed. Where in South Vietnam, you have a slightly rounder face, and in Northern Vietnam, you have a much narrower face up there. And that is over about 50 years of genetics, just generation after generation of just sugar depletion. That's what it does to your face. Of course, if you remember the movie Good Morning Vietnam with Robin Williams.
Yes.
Okay. So do you remember the ending of that movie where Robin Williams was told by the friend he was hanging out with that the friend was like, oh, by the way, I'm actually North Vietnamese. I thought you knew that. And the whole movie is basically Robin Williams not knowing that he's hanging out with somebody from North Vietnam because he can't tell the fucking difference the whole goddamn time. And every person in the army at the time wasn't very nice to Robin Williams' character, as they weren't in real life because they thought he was working for the other side in real life, like because it's based on a true story. But turned out to just be plain old ignorance. You kind of look the same sort of thing.
Well,
Very
now we
hilarious.
know the difference between
Now
North
there
and South.
now there is a distinct difference through diet and age. North Vietnamese people do live longer by having a lower sugar diet than South Vietnamese people. They have a shorter lifespan, higher obesity rate, and all the terrible things that sugar kind of brings along with it. Sugar also gives people the satisfaction to not eat anything else because they're ready, they're good. They're like, oh, wow, that tasted good. I've had enough. I know I'm full because sugar told me I was full and satisfied. And that is a misinterpretation in the brain. Call it pseudoscience, if you will. But the brain can trick people the mind can trick up the brain just as much as anything else, Tony, right?
You're right.
I have been tricked before. I've eaten a whole cake to myself because I'm like, well, if my wife's not going to eat the cake and the baby can't eat cake, I'll just keep eating the cake. And I'm like, well, I am full now of fucking cake, which is basically nothing but nothing.
True.
Well, you didn't want it to go to waste.
I guess,
But
So
it
I have
probably
to
would have been
ask-
better to throw it away.
I
was
have
like
to
board
ask
picking,
Mary
yeah.
Beth. Mary Beth, I have not necessarily one of the biggest questions out there,
Okay.
but you're very much a feminist as far as trying to empower women into changing their lives, changing their habits, changing their daily routines. What is the one major thing, and not necessarily even for men or women in general, if you were going to say, hey, you can do this, it is very easy. What is the one thing that you would change in your daily routine every day for a normal
To
person?
move.
Just move.
So, yeah, well, and yeah, try to get movement or exercise in. When I have a really,
I
really
thought they were
busy-
just packing their stuff and like going to a Florida.
No, not moving locations.
Just move away from your husbands and children. Go somewhere nice. Make sure you have a secret bank account.
But if you go to the grocery store, park is far away. You're the time that it takes to try to find a parking spot that's closer. By the time you park far away, go in and come out, you're going to get like an extra 500 steps. If I know I'm going to have a super busy day, I'm doing squats as I'm brushing my teeth, just to get, or if you say, okay, I can't get to the gym, maybe strap on some leg weights while you're around the house or cutting the grass. So moving is going to give you endorphins. If it's strong enough, you're going to burn calories, you're going to be more tone. As you get older, you'll have better balance. So if you could only do one thing, I would say get your movement in.
Yeah, just don't pack up your bags and move away.
No.
Perfect. Do you have any forums or any particular gatherings that you are doing recently?
Well, actually, earlier today, I was interviewed on a podcast that is going to, I got to read an excerpt of my book and talk about it. So there was that. And then the other day, I was on another podcast.
So you're just doing it. You're doing the podcast.
I'm just doing it. I'm doing it. I'm trying to get the word out.
Make your move, make your movements, make sure
Yes.
that it's worth it, because in the end, it's all about not necessarily even about a longer life, but a healthier life. And
Correct.
one that's worth living in general.
Mhm. Yeah, a lot of the things I talk about are how to preserve your cognition. Nobody wants dementia, so what do you do to prevent dementia and, preserve your heart, so you're not destroying your heart with different things that you're doing. And a lot of the things, if you give up some of those bad things, you're just going to look better and feel better.
How much of that or mentally affects you as well? Because there's a lot of people that are out there and mentally, they're not well.
Right.
They're not
Right.
able to mentally forge ahead or mentally prepare themselves for the journey that they need to take.
Yes, I have a whole section on self-care, and self-care I talk about even reframing how you think about things. It really affects you because if you get angry, all this cortisol and inflammation occurs, and just trying to step back and like if somebody cuts you off in traffic, you might give them the bird or put your horn on or get on their tail and get a little bit of the road rage instead of thinking, I wonder if something's going on in that person's life and they're rushing to get to the hospital or they really literally didn't see you. And so no, it doesn't work 100% of the time, like anything, but I try to take a couple deep breaths and say, I hope that person gets to wherever they're going safely. Now, they might just be a jerk, but it could be some of these other things going on. Or if you're dealing with a crabby salesperson.
So it's okay to smile while you're throwing the finger.
Yeah, you could. Sort of negates the cortisol.
100%. Kill them with kindness.
Yes.
Why don't you just kill them instead? Just the power of prayer. Where you're like, I hope that guy finds his way home permanently.
Wish they get themselves right with Jesus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. I have a limit, and the older I get, the bigger that fuck you button gets, and it's bad. Like it kind of happened today. I was at the Walmart, me, the wife, the baby, we're at Walmart and, got some good food. And on the way out, the guy's like, can I see your receipt? And I looked at him and said, fuck off, man, and walked out, just walked past him. Like I literally paid for my food with money, like some people aren't doing anymore. And by the way, Tony, just want to mention that this podcast on live is seen by over 1,500 people every week just on Facebook. We also have over 2,000 downloads from Spotify every week. YouTube is a barren wasteland of algorithms sometimes, but we're still out there because we still get some trolls every now and then in the comments, and I just had to momentarily fix it, and it's been fixed. Like saying, no, nobody watches the podcast. Dude, you're literally here on it.
Watching the podcast.
So, have fun microwaving gyros, I guess, or I guess it's microwaving because, when you don't know how to grill an onion, that's pretty tough. That's a tough thing for a restaurant owner to not know how to do, to not know how to grill a fucking onion. And it's really easy too. You need butter, pepper, salt, and the ability to know how an oven fucking works. And if you don't know how heat works, you should get out of the fucking restaurant business while you're still alive. Get a factory job, or I don't know, go on disability and just tell them, I don't know how to grill an onion. And for some odd reason, I've been able to serve food to people for the longest time because the only people that eat my food have no taste buds left of their own and no fucking teeth. And they're, Sparky there with the big board. Have some fun.
Sparky at the
the Italian Fest.
Sparky at the Italian Fest. You will not hit me with the scooter again. Look, he was just trying to get his steps in. It is what it is.
He was getting too many steps in. And
too many steps in around the Italian festival, unfortunately. All right. Well, Marybeth, we're going to wrap this up, though. If you are going to give someone just one spot of advice, what would it be?
Realize you're on a journey. And I think lots of small steps will help to make it a habit. And the small steps will have a big impact on your life.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love it.
Beautiful
I love
thing.
it.
You should make that into the new book, by the way.
And Mary, would you suggest people eat gyros or throw them in the garbage?
Maybe I'd throw them in the garbage.
Yeah, I would too. I would too.
Perfect.
And that's coming from somebody with a master's degree.
In health and science.
Not pseudoscience right there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mary Beth, where would people be able to find your book if they were wanted to purchase that book?
Well, there's a couple different places. Probably the one that's most popular is Amazon. So you can get it in a Kindle format or the paperback. You can go to my website, which Kevin mentioned. So that's another way to purchase the book. Or Barnes and Noble would be able to order it for you as well.
Very nice. Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice. And if people were going to reach out to you in any way, how would they do that as well?
There's a couple different ways. They can, obviously, the website there, you can leave a message for me, or I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on and spending your time with us, of course, trying to educate us in the anti-aging ways and, trying to live a fat-free, more holistic, healthier tomorrow.
Right.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounded all right, Kevin.
I like it.
Well, and Kevin was even contributing with the whole aspartame thing. So
I
that
love
was
it.
I
very
tried my
interesting
best,
to
yeah.
me.
He's an
Tried my
aspartame
best.
wizard.
I put the ass in aspartame. I really do. I just don't shine a light on my ass so that way, for health reasons.
True. Sparky, we're gonna do you next here. What are you doing here, Sparkles? We gotta end this show. Where can you find us, Sparky?
You can find us on every single major streaming platform, including YouTube, Spotify, iHeart, Spreaker, Deezer, Castbox, Pocket Cast, GeoReo, Facebook Live Video, Amazon. We're going to soon be on the Roku channel, and I'm missing something.
No, I think you're good.
Think I'm good? Okay, I think I got it.
I think you're okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything and everything that you can stream your podcast on, we are there. We are the Podguyz Podcast, as we do every Monday, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. I'm Tony Cass.
Kevin Neri here.
Of course, the ever-loving Picasso.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys, tune in next week. We have some great guests lined up. We will catch you then. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a great night. Bye.